Yeah.
Awesome,
Nice.
brother.
You're
Yeah,
doing, you're taking action. You're over there taking action like super
man.
fast. So you had no choice but to
Eyes
do it.
closed. Like, let's go.
Yeah.
That's my personality, man. It's either sink or swim, man. If it makes sense, we're men. In the end of the day, we justify everything with logic, and
Basically.
that's how I live my life. I'm like, all right, if it makes sense, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So,
100.
so Will, did you always start by doing PPC? Um, Basically, when you first started your wholesale business, was your first, idea of marketing or getting leads PPC?
So I like Facebook. So I've done Google and Facebook. The problem with Google is that it's a purely logical platform,
Yeah.
and there is just only so many ways you can reword sell my home fast
Mm.
until you run out of things to say, right? And the problem is that you get charged per click and it's a bidding system. So people that have more money than you can always outbid you and get to the top of the page. So in the end of the day, you're playing amongst like the whales of our industry, like the home investors, the Joe home buyers, right? These multi-billion dollar franchises at this point, in my opinion. So where do we have advantage, right? I'm 28. My girl sends me viral TikTok videos on a daily basis just for shits and giggles. So I know what's trending. I know how to write a good hook. I know how to make a good creative. I know that I know behavioral patterns of men and women, right? Men wants to see a lot of my actors are all female of different races. And a lot of it is Asian females because they have a really high click-through rate. So these are things I know, but I will implement in my ads to be able to get a higher return on my investment and get cheaper cost per lead because they're more prone to be clicked on. So it's a disturbance platform, so I have more advantage in. But to answer your question, Ali, yes, I started with only inbound because the person that introduced to me in this space has still to this day been the biggest player I've ever met. That he doesn't teach a course. This is his only business. He has nothing to lie about. He has nothing to front about. And
Mhm.
if he can get to that level with just running inbound traffic into his business, that's what I'm gonna replicate.
Yeah, showing you it's possible. Yeah, yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
and unfortunately, most of the guys that I've seen in the space after him that preaches a lot of the other methods, which is not wrong. I just think that it has a lot to do with trading your time for money, which is
Yep.
not very leverageable, right? Even when you scale in the beginning, sure, you can cold call, you can door knock, you can do all these things and get the lead to convert the traffic. But if you're looking to scale that process consistently, you're gonna have to scale in people.
Hmm.
And at that point, you're gonna have to manage a lot of heads. And there are certain people that are made to become leaders and managers. I haven't developed those skills yet to become one. So hopefully one day I can do so.
No
But to
doubt.
depend my business to manage 10, 20 people that's door knocking and cold calling all day, that's a little bit above
That's
what I
Yeah.
want
crazy.
to do right now.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah.
that's that's way too much, I think, especially in this day and age of everything is digital. I don't think you want to be driving for dollars anymore or door knocking or it's crazy. But yeah, I totally get what you're saying, man. I first started with I started cold calling in Tennessee, and a number from Boston. I'm like, who are you? And then I realized my phone number was showing spam risk, to people. So I was like, it was all over the place. Cold calling is so bad. I don't recommend it to anybody, but I definitely do it if you're starting out, to learn and just to get the feel of as many rejections as you can is good for you, especially in the beginning. But right now in Dallas, what we're doing is so we have agents, and these agents, I get texts every day of these agents like, "Hey, Ali, look at this one, look at this one." So essentially, what's happening is that they are working for me for free, right? Because the seller is paying for these for is paying for their commissions, and they're literally doing the comp analysis for me as well. So they send me a property. They tell me, these are the comps. I put it in my Excel sheet. Boom, 10 minutes, it's a deal. So I'm not even looking for deals anymore. That's it. It's coming. But I definitely want to chat with you more about, Facebook ads, because I definitely want to get into that, because I've only been doing on market. So off market, direct seller is definitely something I want to do. But I guess my next question is, if you don't mind sharing, of course, how much do you estimate, uh, for example, to get one deal, how much do you estimate a cost in ads, if that makes sense?
So have you ever done PPL before?
I've never done anything inbound, any marketing, any Facebook ads, nothing.
I'm telling you, if you start doing inbound and you're already comfortable with converting traffic and structuring deals, and you know your numbers and you know how to underwrite the deals, you're gonna love inbound.
Okay.
Because you're directly talking to the seller. There's no, there's no barrier, there's no liaison that you have to kind of tell them to basically expect them to teach what you just taught them, and have them completely mess up your message to the next person, to the seller, and completely ruin your deal, right? You're directly talking to the seller and you have so much more control over everything. So for us, it costs about, so it depends. Right now, I'm testing a bunch of different strategies to kind of figure out, because I met a lot of people recently that said, hey, Will, you should just increase your cost per lead a little bit more, but get contracts more towards your local markets, where before I was kind of shotgunning and trying to see, let me get the most amount of conversation as possible, because I was still very new. My goal was to have as many conversations as possible, no matter where it is. As long as in a major metro area, I want that lead. But it became to the point where a lot of my contracts were it was in like third string markets where it was hard to find a buyer for. So that became my problem. Right now for you, what's your KPI on direct to agent?
Are you talking about, how many deals we're getting into until we get one, or how many agents
Yeah,
are
how many, let's go to the top, right? How many phone calls do you need to make an offer? Right, that will be the lead. And then how many offers do you need to make to have an accepted contract? That's gonna be your lead to contract. And then how many contracts does it take to close? Because I'm
so
pretty sure agent outreach is going to be very, very different than outbound direct to seller and inbound direct to seller.
absolutely, absolutely. So if you're talking about me personally, zero.
Mhm,
I don't do. I make zero calls. I don't talk to anybody.
mhm.
My agent does the whole thing, and I would say about 3 to 4 calls to get one accepted offer.
That's a good deal.
That's insane.
That's a good ratio. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah. Yeah. That's not,
Because
yeah.
that's the thing. Like, honestly, big shout out to Brady, my partner, and definitely gonna bring him here one day. But he's a flipper. Okay, he's been doing this for a long time in Dallas, and his
Mhm.
agent, somebody he met not long ago, is very fired up. So our offers are, we're not just throwing blind offers. It's a constructive conversation where we're offering, basically we're putting offers on homes for investors. We're not going anywhere close to like a home that is livable, or even, just move in ready, so the seller knows and the agent knows they're gonna get offers from investors, so they know they're gonna get the offers, they're gonna get lower than what they expected. You know what I mean? So that by itself makes it easier. So I would say takes us about 4 conversations to have with agents to get one under contract. And right now we've been on the contract for 6, and we got 4. Four,
That's
four,
amazing.
four
Yeah.
assigned.
That's perfect numbers. That's not even good numbers. That's perfect numbers.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
We're like, this is not even close to what we're going for. Like, our goal is to get every single one. You know, so that's what I like about agent outreach, is that it's easy because you're dealing with big players. You know, you're not having to explain to them, listen, your home is not livable. I can't offer you this much. You know what I mean? So that's my 2 cents on this. But I definitely want to get into, you know, Facebook ads, because obviously we want
Why?
to, all of us want to expand.
You
Right.
said you killing like that. You're like, why? You already got the sauce.
That's the one thing. So Ali, everybody have their magic, right?
Yeah.
My magic is inbound ads. I'm trying to scale that thing to the moon.
Yeah.
Your magic is directed to agent.
Yep. That's
There's-
right. That's right.
I push everyone that don't have a path, that are struggling to do what you're doing, to inbound, because I know how to help them in inbound.
Mhm. Yeah. That
But
makes
the people that actually has a system that's scaling, by me telling you too much about inbound, would just deter you away from the path that you're supposed to be on.
That's I really get that. But the thing is, Will, is that, you know, eventually, you know, for example, let me give you an example. To get a deal, I'm gonna have to get an offer, get a property. My agent's gonna go to the MLS, search for a property, send it over with the comps. I'm gonna do the analysis, and we're gonna submit an offer. If that, you know, if I can create a system where that is just automated, and I have a TC, and the TC is going to be probably the agent's wife, which is crazy. But, you know, if that is working on autopilot, you know, I can move to something else and then do the same thing here, and then just dominate in like 3 different areas. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to move to anything before I really have a system that doesn't need me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But my goal right now is to get more agents in different areas, more buyers, more leads, and, you know, everything on market for now.
Hey, Clay, you got that you got that LOI blaster? Doesn't LOI blaster help you do that? Like the scaling it is situated for you?
I've heard about it, yes, but no, I mean,
Look
uh,
into that. I think that'd be what you said you need. I think the LOI blaster help you out a lot.
Yeah, Jason's got it too.
Yeah. Ask Jason about it. Yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I believe that help you out for what you're talking about.
definitely, I'll definitely reach out. Yeah, thanks, Bruce.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Ali. You're one of the people that made me just want to ask you, man, how you doing things, man? Like, tell me, teach me the sauce, man. Like, don't hold back on me, you know? Like, let me know. Let me. But that's what I'm saying. That's when I feel like that, I know you got something going on, brother. Why don't you? So let me ask you, why don't you go into other markets and just expand what you already built out? It's just gonna be such an easier process for you to replicate over and over again.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's, you know, step one is to dominate DFW,
Okay.
which is already a lot, like, and like really a lot. That by itself can bring around 20-25 a month deal, 20-25 deals a month. We only have 19 buyers, only 19 buyers on our list, and half of them don't even reply. You know what I mean? So imagine what happens after 6 months. We've literally been doing this for since end of May. You know what I mean? So imagine after 6 months. But the goal is to, when we dominate DFW, go to Houston, Austin, San Antonio, El Paso, basically the big cities in Texas.
My brother, you just said 25 deals a month.
Yeah.
Why are you even thinking about inbound, bro?
Yeah, that's another.
Like, you have such a low overhead by doing this. I'm about to stop what I'm doing and start working for you, bro.
You about to pull up on a
You know
yacht.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's
Bro,
true.
like,
Like,
and then it's like,
like for example, it's a very good point that you raised about the overhead. My cost is my rent. That's it. You know, I don't pay anything. But the way I think of it, Will, is I'm a big visionary. So if I can do 25, I'm gonna think of 50. Like if I'm doing 50, I'm gonna think of 100. If I'm doing 100, I'm gonna, you know what I mean? So if, you know, I want to, I don't know yet. I want to do 10 things at the same time. You know what I mean? But
how about this? Me and you, let's do this. You teach me what you're doing, I'll teach you what I'm doing. How about
Absolutely.
that?
Done deal.
I'll run ads for you for free, which is something I never freaking offer to anybody. I don't care if you're in the community, you're not in the community, I'm charging for my time. But for you, brother, if you can teach me what you're doing, I will teach you pay advertisement, but I'm telling you what you have going on right now is extremely low overhead. When you're playing the ads game, you have to understand you're spending a lot of money to get money 45 to 60 days down the road.
Okay.
And you're spending a lot of money to get that. I ran ads to health and wellness space. I have done it for insurance. I have done it for a buddy that does mortgage. I've done it for my lady's esthetician business. Dental, by far, real estate motivated seller leads has been the most expensive and the hardest thing to crack.
What's the cost per lead? What's the cost per lead you would say, William?
It really depends on what type of traffic you're gonna get, right? People with stronger sales force, they don't care about the quality of lead. They just care about a lead that's coming in and they fill out a
Heating
form.
them up. Yeah.
I can get you leads as cheap as $20, $30, $40. And then if you get to the point where you want to have a survey filled leads where you're disqualifying for 6 month plus selling time frame listed with the agent, maybe mobile manufactured homes, now you're going to push your lead costs up to 100 plus, right? So my rule of thumb is to never go above 200 per market. And the reason why is that at that point, if I'm working as an agency for a wholesaler, right? Why wouldn't he just go buy a lead off of a PPL company, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of my break-even rule of thumb. If it's above 200, unless it's a very, very specific, highly motivated lead that converts 1 out of 3, like probate leads, I convert almost every single one that's an inherited home. Every single person that has came in that has an inherited home, I've converted that so far. So I know I'm willing to pay 2-3x higher cost per lead because my cost per contract is so cheap at the end of the day. Right. And I have a bigger spread because they're not emotionally attached to the property itself. They just want that cash. They want cash out. Right. So that's kind of it's just really about your team. That's why when people ask me that question, what's the cost per lead or how much I need to spend on this, is very, very case specific to what type of structure your team is trying to handle, right?
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, speed to lead. Yeah. So tell me this. So you do, I know you mentioned TikTok. So you do Facebook ads and TikTok ads as well?
So I do mainly Facebook just because I don't even spend enough money on Facebook to really max out this audience. I know guys that's spending 20, 30, 40,000 a month on the same platform as I am. And these guys aren't even the biggest player. These are just local companies, guys on our level where, they have a successful business and they're looking to scale, but they're not like a behemoth. I know guys that are spending hundreds of thousands per month as, affiliate companies. So I know a guy down in Tampa, actually, he does about 700,000, I think, on a weekly basis on ads. He spends 700 grand.
What the?
On ads. Yeah. And he gets about, a 30% return. So think about how much money he's making on a weekly basis. It's absolutely insane. Like, these are guys, but he's running a lot of like Nutra products, like a lot of like brain pills for older people. So it's like highly lucrative business. It's completely different than what we're doing.
Okay.
But like these are like e-com guys that are really scaling things to more ads. So TikTok, the reason why we use Facebook is not so much the audience age group. A lot of people use that as the pitching point, right? Have you ever heard it's like, oh, we target Facebook because the 40 plus audience are on there. That's not really the case. We target on Facebook because their targeting and their data is so good. They will find your audience and your desired clientele just based upon the copy and the content you give it.
Looking like
TikTok is getting good. And it's a lot of people that I know are also using TikTok, but their targeting isn't as good as Facebook still, but it's good enough. So I would say Facebook, TikTok, if you're really good at making viral videos, TikTok is really good. And then Google is when you have a lot of money and you don't really care and you want traffic today. Because people are searching, you can pay a lot for a lead, but if you get 3x return, if you're spending, you know, 100 grand a month and still get a 3x return, I'll be happy.
Yeah, you just
You
don't
know,
get it.
yeah.
So are your actors, or basically, the people doing your videos, are they here or are they overseas?
So I hire everybody off of a company called Backstage. It's a it's a professional casting site. So I don't find any of my actors actresses on Upwork or Fiverr, just because those faces are legitimately used and abused. Every single person on Facebook uses the same 5 different people, right? So it's good to have newer faces rotated once in a while. But I think the main thing before getting into hiring an actor and, you know, going to that phase, because I like to test with speed. So I put out things like ugly ads, right? So I can show you guys real quick if I'm able to share my screen. Nice.
Yeah.
I was actually working on something right now. So
Absolutely.
these are a lot of the offers that I work on. So I put out an ad like this just to test out my wording. So it's a copyright kind of style. So just by having the right copy, I can target my audience. If I can get a lead with that ugly form of ad, I know I can use that as the backbone to my offer. And basically, I create hooks based upon that offer, but the hook has to be directly attached to what I was showing you guys on the Zoom call last Tuesday. I find things people talk about on Reddit. So what people are saying to each other in the community, you know, people that are going through foreclosure, what questions are they asking? And basically taking out exact phrases of what they're saying, but saying it back to them as a hook.
Mm.
That's smart.
It's
So
almost
I
like fun. I love it.
so I test out offer, and then how do I get people to want to interact with my ad with the hook? And then I have just the click to action doesn't really matter as much. Click to action is nice to have multiple, but that's on a higher level. And then you figure out the funnel. Okay, you're getting leads with the purest form of advertisement, which is just the offer, right? And then you get people to opt in more on a higher rate by decreasing your cost per lead. And then you start putting resistance to basically get the lead quality higher if needed. So that's kind of my train thought on the steps I would do when you're creating an ad campaign.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. I love marketing. So anything marketing, I'm freaking honed in. Like, yeah, you're right. Marketing and sales is everything pretty much. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's the thing. But marketing and sales is so intertwined. People don't understand that. A good marketer will work with the sales team, right? A good sales team will make the marketer's life easier. It's like the engineer and the architect, right? You can't have one with other.
Right.
So with the marketing, it's like we're trying to get not the cheapest cost per lead. We want to get the best bang for its buck.
Good quality.
But it's up to the sales force to be able to convert, because I've worked with I've given the same lead to 2 different companies, and one converts at, you know, 4 or 5x the rate of the other company, just because they're more disciplined, they have a better system and process, right? So the sales team itself matters so much.
That makes sense.
Damn. Damn.
Marketing 101. I love it. I love it.
it.
Heck yeah, yeah. Because you like say you got the funnels and it's cool because you say you use Reddit, so you already know what they're talking about. So you're just kind of reversing it, just doing like reverse engineering it pretty much. Because I already
Right.
see 1,000 y'all talked about it. So let me go ahead and give you the answer kind of sort of to it and just throw you on my funnel and know it is at least a warm lead pretty much. That's genius. I like that.
Exactly. So it's the goal of the Reddit. I even use, like, for example, Amazon reviews. If you search up like specific books about a specific industry and you read the reviews and what people say about that book, you can kind of get a feel of what people are saying and what they're looking to learn. What do they need to know? What they don't know? What are they scared of? Right? The fear. Fear is a huge driver of, you know, just action. So understanding what people are fearful of and being able to relay that to them in the message, it just gets you to perform. It gets your ad and you can convey your offer at a higher level, right? Than if you were just to say what you think is no, right? So one of the things I always tell people when you're looking at buying home ads, just since we're all in that space, it's like there's a specific language, there's a winner's language and there's a loser's language, right? A winner's a loser's language will be, let's just talk about B2B, right? Business owner to a business owner. If I'm asking somebody, I'm starting with the phrase with, are you sick and tired? You're probably going to attract a clientele that's typically not successful. They're sick, they're tired, they're looking for a solution to their issues. I don't want to be Mr. Problem Solver to your business, sir. I don't want to work with that clientele. I want to work with somebody that is successful, that's not sick and tired of anything. I want to work with a guy that want to scale his business, that want to get a higher return on investment through his ad spend, or get a more functional team, right? That's going scaling their team's productivity or whatnot, right? So winner's language and loser's language. So you have to know your audience. When we as professionals talk to somebody as let me buy your home as is, most demographics don't know what that means. So why are you using that on advertisement, try to get somebody to click into and trust you? You're just using big words. But I'm not gonna lie. When I came into the real estate side of thing, when I heard as is, I sort of got it. But I'm like, what does that really mean? What is as is? But you see that everywhere as a marketing tactic.
Okay. So you say you got kind of like dumb it down kind of to like your avatar, like you talking right to them, their language, so they can kind of like understand it pretty much, so they can actually feel comfortable with you in the ad.
Exactly. It's like building trust in the beginning when you're marketing, right? Because in the end of the day, marketing is just like the top, middle, like the tofu, both. If you guys heard of that term, like the top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel. At the top of the funnel is just like the wildest audience that you're looking to. You have no idea what they want. So when you're using copy in the beginning, you're basically trying to get them to want to work with you or try to show them a product. But if you're using language that's outside of their world, they're probably not going to opt in because they simply just don't even understand what you're saying.
Makes sense.
Right.
Over your head. Yeah. I can't relate to you. I don't know what you're talking about. You too much for me. You too big. I know.
Exactly.
It makes sense. Yeah. So you making an ad, so you talking, oh wow, he's talking right to me. That's my guy. I can understand everything he's saying. I want what you're selling. Okay. I like
And
that.
beyond that, Facebook targets based upon your copy. So if you're targeting as somebody that understands as is, they're typically a wholesaler, right? That's the audience that understands it. So a lot more wholesalers are going to see it. You're going to end up targeting homeowners that's talked to a lot of wholesalers, so they understand what they're highly educated in the field, so they understand what as is means. So Facebook is that good; it will get you the audience of that verbiage. But that's the issue. Do you want that audience? I don't. I don't want to talk to the mom and pop that knows what as is means. They already spoke to 12 wholesalers. They didn't sell their home to them for a reason. So I'm not gonna use those verbiage. It's like the winner's language, loser's language. I'm gonna talk to them like third grade level. You want to sell your home fast, get a written cash offer within 24 hours. That's literally most of my ads. It literally just says that.
Straight and to the point.
Straight to the point.
I love it.
that.
We got a extra person in the room. What's up, Jay? You hear us?
Yes, sir, gentlemen. Good evening, brothers. Good evening, man. I apologize that I'm joining so late, man. We're doing again. I don't get on here today, so I'm gonna definitely be chiming in and watch hour.
Is he choppy or is me?
No, he's
I don't know how much.
Say that one more time, Jay.
We call him R2D2 sometimes.
Yo, Big J, it's nice seeing you, brother.
Talk to us again, Jay.
Man, I'm dealing with so many.
We'll come back to
He
you.
said he was working hard, grinding, and he was over there closing on a deal. So we're gonna give it up for him.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
baby. Nah, Jay is good people, man. I met him. He's actually one of the people. Ali and we both met each other at the conference too. It's cool.
That's what's
Yes,
up.
sir.
Yeah.
Yo, this fire
I
right
love
here. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
Paul, you about to say something? You about to ask something? I know you, because Paul go in.
Yeah, I mean, I just love the motion you have with the ads, dude. Like Paul and I are about to start pumping those out ourselves here, so we're gonna be coming to you a lot. Don't you
Do
worry.
you
Well, we're
think?
gonna have a lot of questions for you, buddy.
Dude, as long as we record it so we can kind of just, help ourselves just promote everything a little bit. And then at the end of the day, I realize it is you need to be front facing with the audience itself, right? I've been just starting to do that very recently, this past 2, 3 weeks. But also I wanted to know what I'm doing is working, right? I want to be able to replicate it for not just myself, but for others as well. So until I realize I am genuinely, not to sound cocky, I really believe I'm better than 90 to 95% of the people that run ads in this space. I wasn't comfortable with sharing it with people because I don't want to push you guys in the wrong direction, right? I want to give you guys some specific answers that can help out with your business based upon what you're telling me. So, man, if you guys have questions, man, as long as we record it, I'm an open book, man.
Of course, but hey, man, don't talk your shit. Don't you? You're 99% better than everybody. Talk your shit.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I love it.
Running ads, but not converting that traffic yet. And that's what I mean. It's like I'm one of those people that I was talking about. If I gave a lead to myself compared to a veteran at wholesaling, they will still get a higher return than me. So I'm still understanding. I'm trying to understand the underwriting of things. I'm trying to understand how to acquire. I'm comfortable with talking to sellers, but this position is a whole different realm that I have yet to really understand. So I'm getting into that realm right now, this past 2 weeks, and I do realize it is very different. And it's not easy because you're talking to a very highly educated person. If you don't know your shit,
Yep.
they're gonna eat you up,
Yeah,
man.
try
So,
you up. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
you get that deal under contract, you're all pumped. You're like, yeah, the easy part's happening now, right? And it's like, oh, this is a whole different language. What do I have to say?
ARVs and this and that. Yeah, you start talking letters to you. You're like, what in the world? ARV, hold up. This is the third. Comps, like time out.
Yep.